Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mr. Taylor with Young Engineers of Today. Hope everyone's having a great day. Hello, Katie. Hello, Jean-Marc. Hope both of you are doing well. As I am. All right, let's get started. If you can hear me, raise your hand. Okay, I see Jean-Marc's hand, Jesse's hand, Marissa, Max, Seth. All right. Katie, Linux is your whole Raspbian operating system is made up of Linux. And when you use the LX terminal, that is Linux. Okay. All right. Last class we left off on, we did a review. As well as we looked at some Linux commands. Now, last, can you see my screen? Raise your hand. Great, John, Mark, Jesse, Katie, Helen, Marissa, Max, Seth, and Zachary. Okay? All right. Last time, last thing we finished up was going over the LX terminal, which is on your home screen, or you can go to the Start menu and access it as well. And we went over the username. The username is on the left, and its prompt is pi, and your computer name, obviously, is Raspberry Pi. The different commands that we looked at last class are commands that will allow you to get access to certain things within the Pi. All right. Such as StartX. You don't need StartX. StartX is if you were using a setting where your Raspberry Pi did not boot directly to your desktop, which we did with Raspi config. We did that. So Katie, for example, when you typed Raspi config in, this allowed you to change some settings on the Pi. That was using the LX terminal when you were using Linux. In the LX terminal. Now, the LX terminal is on the home screen of your Raspberry Pi. Or under your Start menu is another option. We also went over how to set up your date using sudo date. Katie, I don't know. I'm sorry. Unless you deleted it off your system, I have no other answers. I'm sorry. Okay, good, great, you found it. We went over checking the date and time. You can type the date, code word date, and it will bring up this feature as well and tell you the exact date. Now, the date, as we learned last time, is not very important. The setting, unless you keep your Raspberry Pi powered up because it doesn't have an internal clock. So because of that power source, it resets. Or lack thereof that power source, excuse me. Now, how much memory is available? This is a cool little feature that to know later on as you use it more. Just type free. And the thing is, you can learn more Linux commands just by searching the internet, especially with the whole open source community and Linux being one of them, part of that. It's a great feature for you. All right, disk space is available. You can hit DF, and this will allow you to show your disk space. All right, and it actually breaks it down in percentages. see where everything's at. A snapshot of what is running. So if you want to see what you're using at the time, you're like, man, my computer's running slow. Why is it running slow? Then you can actually see everything that is taking place. Okay. And what is plugged in the USB port? This LS USB. Now make sure you have that capitalized. This is an important feature because if you're having problems like hooking up anything USB or using a USB hub in the future, it's good to know if it's actually recognizing it. So if you're having problems with a mouse or keyboard, this is a great way to even see if, okay, maybe is it my Pi or is it my mouse or keyboard? It's like, oh, my Pi is recognizing it, so maybe my keyboard's not working correctly. Maybe there's something wrong with it. All right. To learn more commands, and I'm going to give you like 4 minutes to do this, maybe 5, use man space ls. This allows you to explore and find more commands that you can use, and it tells you what they do. All right, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. I want you to explore these commands and see how they work and what they are. If you understand what I want you to do right now for the next 5 minutes, raise your hand. Great. Elizabeth, Jesse, John Mark, Katie, Marissa, Zachary. All right, fantastic. Seth, Zach. Very good, Marissa. Very good, Katie. Very good, Jess. Very good, John. Very good, everybody. All right. It's 5:08, so let's take about 5 minutes and do that, and then we'll share some things that you looked at. Katie, I don't quite understand your question. So I'm going to call on you. Katie, can you explain your question further?
Can you put it on the slide which shows man LS?
This is the slide. This is the screen you'll get. Do you want the command or you want the screen?
That's good.
Okay, because the next screen after you hit enter, this is what will come up.
I got that.
Okay, and then this has all the different commands.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Wish I can, yeah. I can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. So first of all, I don't know what to do right now, and
Well,
I don't know. My screen apparently is so big that I can't see those little applications at the bottom. And I've already shut it down, and turn off the power, and turned it on again. So and it's still really big. So I don't really know what to do.
what do you mean? I don't under. Can you give me more details? Like, what are you working on? What's your?
I'm just on the desktop screen.
Okay. Did you open up the LX terminal? You did show up late, and I said we're using Linux commands in the LX terminal. Specifically, the one is man ls, and we're exploring the different. It gives us a directory of other commands.
Okay, and my screen is bigger than usual, so I can't see the little applications at the bottom.
Use your arrow key and see if you can scroll down.
No, I can't.
Okay, I don't know what to do for you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't exactly know why that was happening.
Okay.
There might be a monitor setting. I'm not sure.
It's good yesterday.
Yeah, it was fine yesterday though.
I honestly don't know, Katie. I'm sorry, I can't be more help on that.
Okay.
Thank you. Drew? Yes, Drew?
This is Wade here. I think we moved a file accidentally, and it says error not moving file, not a directory.
So did you move the file, or
Yeah, I think so.
you're gonna have to move it back? I don't know what you moved.
Okay.
I mean, do you have a Windows computer?
We're using an LG.
Okay, yeah. That's the same thing if you went into your Windows settings, like under your C drive, and you started moving stuff around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what file you moved, but maybe try to retrace your steps, and worst case scenario, you'll have to reset up Noobs.
Okay.
All right. So that's the one bright side. If you do screw something up, you just gotta download Noobs again and revamp your flash drive. I'm not your flash drive, your SD card, and just download the operating system again. It's an easy fix. I mean, it'll take you 5 minutes. You did it at the lab with Mr. Dubik 2 weeks ago. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, everyone. Let's bring it back. Would anyone like to share something a command that they used with this? All right, Katie and Marissa. Let's go with Marissa. Go ahead, Marissa.
I used this thing. It was like I was just scrolling through them, and I found this one that like it was hide. It said hide, do not list implied entries matching shell pattern overridden by -a or minus lowercase a or minus uppercase a.
Okay.
And it said hide equal pattern, so I typed in pattern, and this weird thing came up. It was really weird. But there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of commands. Like, there are so many Linux commands that it's just something you want to use because it'll help you learn how to use your computer more efficiently. But also there's things that you probably don't want to mess with as well. You know what I mean? So make sure you read the descriptions. Yeah. Okay? Very good, Marissa. Thank you. Let's go with Katie. Sorry, I hit the down hand button. Let me find Katie again. She beat me to it. Hello, Katie. Go ahead.
Well, it was alphabetical order. It was like a dictionary.
Yeah.
And I figured out the authors were, they were written by Richard M. Stallman and David Mackenzie, and it was copyrighted 2011.
Oh, great. Thank you.
There's Near the bottom, there's this website, three websites you could go to.
Okay.
The GNU Core Hills homepage and other websites.
All right. So for more resources, thank you, Katie. Great job. All right. Okay. That brings the end to our introduction. And the thing is, I would encourage you to look at Linux commands. You can find more online, such as Katie stated. And this will help you learn more about how your computer works. I'm going to pause the screen and bring up our next presentation. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'll explain why we're looking at Scratch in a moment. All right. Now, why are we reviewing Scratch for a lesson? I know many of you have used Scratch before. We've taught Scratch in the fall. Yes, Marissa.
I just wanted to say that right now I'm making this really cool little Minecraft thing with using Scratch GPIO, I think.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Actually, you're going to end up working ahead and doing stuff we plan on doing in class, just to give you an FYI on that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, literally, it's the reason we're about to learn Scratch. But yeah, just letting you know that that's cool that you're doing cool stuff like that, but if you are going to end up doing stuff we're doing in class too. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool, Marissa. Thank you. Jean-Marc, yes?
I made this like my friend I have a friend named Jasper, and he made these things called the hand 1 and the hand 2.
Yeah.
And so I made this. They're really funny. So if anybody still uses Scratch, then go search those. They're really funny.
All right, hand 1 and hand 2. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing, Jean-Marc. All right. Okay. The Scratch. This is a reason why. How many people? This is their first semester with us in Young Engineers. Raise your hand. Okay, 1. First semester. I know there's more than one of you. Please raise your hand. All right, we got about 2, 3 people. Okay. All right. And also, we have new students. Also, Raspberry Pi uses a version 1.4, and you've learned 2.0 with me. Some of you already stated you know 1.4. There are some similarities and differences. We will end up using a special version of Scratch, which Marissa stated, it's called GPIO Scratch, to do physical computing, and we plan on doing that in the future. All right, so we want to just review Scratch, do the basics, and get people acclimated with it who are not acclimated with it. All right, for those who already know Scratch version 1.4, please raise your hand if you know Scratch 1.4 from last spring or last fall or from your past. Please raise your hand. All right, please keep your hand raised so I can see who they are. I'll put your hands down. We have Alex, Katie, Keller, Max, and Zachary. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. All right. Now put your hands down if you do not know Scratch 1.4. Put your hand up if you don't know Scratch 1.4. All right, we got Drew and Wade. We have Marissa, Jesse, Jean-Marc, Elizabeth. All right, we have half and half, okay? This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be splitting our class up to do 2 different things. How many people have heard of Flappy Birds? Flappy Bird, the coolest game ever. Not really, but still. Awesome game, really popular, and the guy took it off. All right, thank you for raising your hands. If you know Flappy Birds, yes, Marissa. Yes,
I
Marissa.
just wanted to say that I know people The guy who took it off. I actually know people who sell their phones that have the game Flappy Bird on it to people who don't have the game. They actually sell their phones.
Yes. Yeah, that
It's
became
really
very popular for about a week or two. Someone in Charlotte sold their phone for $5,000.
really
Yeah.
wow.
And talking with my students in my face-to-face class on a daily basis, they were telling me they've read somewhere upwards of like $60,000 to $70,000 in some places around the world.
Wow. Yeah, I heard the guy took it off because he got too rich or something.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, but we're not going to get caught up in that. But thank you, Marissa. All right, John Mark. Yes, John Mark.
My mom and dad didn't hear about Flappy Bird for like until it got taken off, and so we didn't get to get it. And my brother got so mad because he really wanted to get it. It was really funny.
Yeah, there's a bunch of knockoff versions, if you will. But all right, but
Yeah.
sorry your brother didn't get it. If he feels like spending $5,000, he can probably get it.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Now, 1.4 is very similar to 2.0 Scratch. Actually, Seth doesn't like Flappy Birds. He's booing. What you're going to do, if you are familiar with Scratch, already used it, which seems like about half of you, you're going to start working on our own version of a Flappy Bird game. All right. As you can see from the images, you're going to keep score just the way you do every time you pass through, and have using your spacebar to have it flop and go forward every time you hit. So you're going to work on that. Now, as we said, we talked about the Creative pulled Flappy Birds. It was a #1 game on the Google Store. It was a #1 game for the Apple Store. It was making a ridiculous amount of money. He was making off the Apple Store alone, he was making about $50,000 a day, and I believe about the same amount off the Google Play. He was making somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 a day. He did that for about a month. So crazy amount of money, and pulled it off due to the stress from it. He just pulled the game. Okay. Now, to those who are going to be working on this, you're going to create your own Flappy Birds game. Everyone else who's not, I'm going to be showing you the basics of Scratch. So basically, Flappy Birds, as we know, if you've ever played it, it keeps score. And what happens is you have to maneuver your creature, in this case, I use a dragon, through tubes. And every time you maneuver through them, they change height and directions. You get a point. If you touch one of the tubes, the game starts over. Okay? Any questions about that? Please raise your hand now if you're going to be, or type in if you're going to be building the Flappy Birds game. Catherine, Zachary, Jean-Marc. Okay. Okay. And Drew, Keller, and Wade are going to. All right. To those who are not, and they need to learn the basics, you're going to follow along. We're going to review the basics, and you're going to try some stuff out. Okay? All right. Good luck, Jean-Marc, Catherine, Katie, Marissa. I'm here if you need something, but I'm going to be working with others right now. Okay? So start working on your Flappy Birds game, or your version of a Flappy Birds game. All right? Now, to those who haven't used Scratch before, or not familiar, Scratch is a language that's used by just about anyone can use. It's developed by MIT, is used by Harvard students in their intro to computer programming. it's fun and it's powerful. And last semester, we actually made a few games with it on Scratch 2.0. You can create stories, games, cartoons, etc. All right. Now, to those of you version 1.4, this is on your Pi. You're going to be using this. So you're going to be watching what we're doing, typing on your Pi. It does not require internet. Now, version 2, we will not use version 2. Version 2 does not come with a Pi, and it requires an internet connection you use through an internet browser. All right. Okay. Let's begin. To those who are using Scratch 1.4 and following along with me, please raise your hand. We have Jesse, Max, Jesse and Max, John, and that should be everyone else. I think some people aren't paying attention because I'm not getting hands raised either way. Like, I have not got an answer from Seth. I've not got an answer from Elizabeth. All right. Okay. All right. Let's continue. All right. We have 3 areas where you put your code in. That is your code. This is your code area for your block palettes. And what I just want you to do is see if you can get your sprite to move. Okay. Go ahead and try this out. We're just going to do a when clicked, get things started, and move 10 steps. Once you've done that, raise your hand. To those who are working with me. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Drew and Wade. All right. Let's move forward. Elizabeth's making Flappy Birds. How do you delete things, Jean-Marc? You just pick them up and you drop them back into the palette area. Okay. All right. Now, moving on. Now I want you to add a loop to it and see this is a repeat behavior and try that out. Once you've done trying that out, raise your hand. All right, Jesse, Seth, very good. And Drew and Wade, very good. All right, let's move forward. And your sprite should have been moving back, just moving with that forever for now. What I want you to look at, sorry. All right, we tried this. Now I want you to try this, move 10 steps forever, and notice the difference. Once you've done that, raise your hand. All right. All right, great job, everybody. We got Chris, Jesse, and Seth working hard. Very good. All right. Now, the difference here is one would repeat itself for 10 times. This will just keep going until you stop it. All right. Now, I want you to try this one out. When clicked, forever move 10 steps and put an if on edge bounce. Okay? Try that one out. And what you should be looking for here is the sprite will bounce off the edge back and forth. And we'll go like that forever. All right. Has everyone gone ahead and tried this out? Please raise your hand once you've done this to those who are working with me. Very cool. Drew made him bounce while doing flips. Very nice. Jesse's done. Very good. Katie's enjoying making what she's doing. Excellent. All right. Now, what we're going to do is look at the sprite area. We're going to zoom in here. You can change the name of the sprite here, but I want you to notice the blue arrow. Okay? If we change the direction of that blue arrow, it will change the way the it will corresponds with the way the sprite moves. And you can change it. Now, also to the left of it, you'll notice these three areas. You have these three buttons. I want you to experiment using these, okay? Go right ahead. And once you're done, and I'll call on someone to tell me what the three of them do, okay? All right, John Mark. John Mark, how's Flappy Bird's coming?
Well, I got it to go up when you hit spacebar, but the only problem is he keeps going up. I can figure out how to get him to stay.
If you can have him only go up a certain amount of steps. And then what you have to do is try to get it to want to make your sprite go down at the same time.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like you have to have some other force or some other code that's trying to make your sprite go down at all times.
Yeah, because I've made it go change Y by 6, or change Y by 4, so I'll try to make it steps.
So try using an if statement.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you. All right. All right. Take another minute or two to those who are trying out these directional tools. And raise your hand once you're done. All right, Jesse raised his hand. Jesse, I'm gonna call you. Jesse, what did the top button do on the controller?
It made it so that he could rotate.
Yep. He'll rotate all the way. He'll rotate. Very good. What did the second button do, Jesse?
It evened him out?
Yeah, but it'll flip his body in two different directions. If you notice, if you use the bounce program, what will happen now, instead of him going upside down, his body will change 90 degrees. Or 180 degrees, excuse me. Okay? So maybe try that out. All right, Jesse?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Nice job. All right. To those who are working with me, let's bring it back. As Jesse stated, the first button will rotate him. The second one is useful because it'll make him bounce and turn his body 180 degrees. All right. And the last one is stop. Now, next is our view modes. This basically will change the views of our settings. This is the first two, just change the layout of how you're working with things. And then the last one will make it full screen. As you can see, here's the first button, smaller stage. Next one's a larger stage. And the stage is where the sprite is performing. And then on the next one is a full screen. So this is like if you want to display what you're doing. Okay. All right. Try those out. I want you to try those out. Raise your hand, please. All right, great. Drew, Wade, and Jesse. Okay. Use that. So as we continue, now we're going to look at backgrounds. Backgrounds allow us to, we have a variety of backgrounds, so you can also create our own backgrounds, okay? If you click on Edit, this will allow you to make your own background, or you can go into Import and add a background. You can also edit it as well, okay? When you look at this, you have different tools. You can pick colors with the paint bucket. You also have different shapes you can do. You can do a stamp of an image. You can drip colors into areas to change them on specific areas. You can type letters, use a paintbrush to draw. You can create lines. You can erase. You can zoom in. You can zoom out. You can rotate shapes. You can make them bigger. You can make them smaller. All right. What I would like you to do is just experiment with the stage for a moment. All right, I'll give you like 3-4 minutes to do that because there's a lot of different stuff you can do in there. Okay? And once you're done, raise your hand. Those working on Flappy Birds, how's everyone doing? Can someone raise their hand and give me an update or type in how you're doing there? Let's go with Marissa. Go ahead, Marissa. How you guys doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm working on the part where getting him to move. Like I got the part where if he goes through the pipe, then the score will increase by 1.
Good.
And through like the area between the pipes and it.
All right, great. Now just work on the aspect of if you can get him to want to naturally move down into another direction. Does that make sense? And you have to fight that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You want the sprite to move on a certain axis across and also but be dropping at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Zach, how's it going for you?
I made it work. I know how to make the force him go back down if the key's not pressed. But
Okay.
I don't know how to make the screen just keep going. Is that like a forever thing?
Um, you're gonna have to try out possibly switching backgrounds.
Okay.
Like once the sprite crosses a certain point, it moves to the next. Like you could have something that's behind it that we can't see that it would actually touch and then switch the next background.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. There's different ways you
Yeah.
can approach it. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good job, Zach. All right. To those who are experimenting with the paint editor, let me know once you're done by raising your hand. Take about 1 more minute to those working with the paint editor for their background. All right, good. Jesse's done. All right, let's bring it together, everybody. So there's a bunch of features there. So you can end up with different colored sprite screen, and then under backgrounds, we can actually copy backgrounds. Um, if you copy a background, you can then edit it. All right. Now, you guys experimented, when you do go to import, or you want to add a background, okay, we can do import. If you import a background, the backgrounds are broken up in different categories. You can scroll through indoor, nature, sports. And let's say that we went on outdoor. We clicked in, and there's preset images for you to use and work with. And I can choose any of these backgrounds and work with one of these. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is select this. Select another background. Okay. Once you've done that, so you have two backgrounds now. All right. In my case, I have a blue and a brick wall. What we can do is we go back to the scripts. When we go to the scripts, we're going to put a when clicked and switch the background. And you can actually, when you hit this, it'll switch to a different background. Okay? Go ahead and try that out. Once you've done that, please raise your hand. All right, now bring it back. And so what should happen here is you should have switched your background. Okay. So now what we're going to do right below that, we're going to hit a under the control area, which is marked in yellowish or yellowish gold. You'll click when space, and space meaning the space bar, the key is pressed. What will happen, we'll switch back to the next background. Okay, now go ahead and try that out. And if you're a little bit behind, just do both of them now. And once you're done, this will take about a minute. Please raise your hand. Nice job, Jerome Wade. Just waiting. All right, there's Jesse. Very good. All right. And as you can see, the colors correspond to very specific things. Like when you use the purple is under looks. So it has to deal with things that you can visually see. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to use when right arrow key pressed, we're going to change X by 10 because the sprites move on an XY axis, just like you would learn in math class. You can have negative X and positive X. You can have negative Y or positive Y, and you get those points. All right, so go ahead and try this one out, okay? And once you're done, raise your hand. All right, Jean-Marc. Yes, Jean-Marc. How's the Flappy Birds coming?
I still cannot figure out how to get the bird to move up and down right.
Well, Zach has figured that out. He stated, why don't I unmic Zach and you two can talk?
Okay.
All right, and we'll do a little collaboration there. Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Good. I just need to get out of the paint. Okay.
You and Jean-Marc are unmuted.
Yes. Okay. To make him go up, you do an if-then statement. If whatever key is pressed, then move. Let me see. Where is he? Oh yeah. If up arrow, if you want to go up, if up arrow key up arrow press, change Y by 10 or whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
And if you go, I haven't figured out how to go down yet.
Yeah, that's my problem.
But you can't. Yeah.
All right.
I can't figure out how to make it since the space is released.
Gentlemen, what you're probably both going to need to look at is having multiple if statements control, but have almost a forever of your sprite wanting to move down. But if this button is hit, your sprite can move up, but then having it knocked down again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but whenever I try to do that, it'll only go up like a tiny bit and it'll freeze up. It'll just go like up and then start going down again, like hardly at all. Or if you tell it to wait 1 second and then go down, it'll freeze everything and then it'll start going down.
Okay, so it's gonna come down to an order and a right scenario of how much it's dropping versus how much it's increasing upward.
Okay.
And you're might gonna just have to tinker with that to find the right scenario.
Wait, is there a way to sense if the space is released?
If you set it as a space only one at a time, like once every time you hit space, to have it do it.
Like, because I was trying to find out if you could like do if spacebar released.
I could look into that. I don't believe so. I think you have to just hit buttons.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, both of you. Nice job, Zach and Jean Marc. Good collaboration. All right. Yes, Katie.
I can't get to make it jump. It's so hard. I
You have to
wish
do
it
an
had said if touching.
You have to do an if-then statement.
Yeah, I did if touching them still, then it'll glide to a certain spot, but it'll go through my like those jump pads.
Okay.
So I don't know how to like avoid those jump pads.
All right. You're gonna have to make an area that is large enough for you to work through. The larger the area, the easier it'll be. The smaller the area for passing through, the harder it'll be. Secondly, you're going to have your sprite moving forward, like on an axis, but dropping at the same time.
Mhm.
Or if you just don't want to make it as hard, but have it like mimic the Flappy Birds, you can just try to use your arrow keys to try to make it just maneuver through the tubes.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have those jump pads, and I'm trying to make it so it'll jump on those jump pads without touching the top pads.
Okay, I'm not completely sure what that means, but that seems pretty difficult.
Yeah.
But good luck with that. I mean, you'll probably figure it out. It's going to take some time. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We also have next class, so don't get too frustrated. We're almost coming to the end. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Katie. You're working hard. Keep it up. Yes, Marissa.
I just wanted to say that I'm done. I've made a really, really, really bad version of Flappy Bird, but I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well.
I did it so it's following the mouse pointer. Like I didn't do the arrow keys because I wanted to see if it would work with the mouse pointer.
Okay.
It's not very good.
All right. But that's your first prototype, so that's good. So you can make improvements or changes in the future. All right. That's good, Marissa. You got to start somewhere. All right. Great job. Okay. To those who are working on Flappy Birds, we're going to do one more day of basics of Scratch next class, and you can continue working on that. And maybe we'll on both ends, you and I will do some research to see if we can find some codes that are out there that are similar that will allow you to get yours to like bounce in a way. All right, and we'll work on that together. Now, the last few minutes, all right, to get to the backgrounds, ladies and gentlemen, just to review, you have to click on the tab Backgrounds up top. It comes preset on scripts. You have to click on Backgrounds. Now, once you do that, you can either copy to get a new one or import or click Edit. And once you do, you just click OK. So when you go into that, whatever one you pick, you just hit OK. Elizabeth, take care. Bye-bye. All right. We went through that. Now, okay, next class, to those who are doing the basics, we're going to start a new program and just program a basic game. But before we do that, how you start a new program, we can go up to File and Edit and pick a new one. What I want you to look at is the 3 stars. You can edit a sprite. You can open a new sprite and get a random sprite with a question mark. These are your new sprite buttons. The middle one will allow you to actually pick a sprite through the folders. Okay, and then those are different things that you can choose from. All right. Now, it's about 2 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions? I know we did a different style of class tonight where we had people in 2 groups working on separate things. Does anyone have any questions about their Pi, about materials? And before you ask, tomorrow in Charlotte, we have a lab. If you have your Pi, please bring your Raspberry Pi with you tomorrow. We will use it in Charlotte. Okay. I repeat, tomorrow in Charlotte, we have a lab. Please bring your Raspberry Pi. We're going to work with it, and then if you have any questions about it, we can show you things as well. Any questions or concerns? Yes, Jean-Marc.
I think people asked this question last week, but is there a way to get Minecraft on Raspbian Noobs, or do you have to have Raspbian?
The easiest way to do it, and this is the way I've done it, and I did it to about 20 Pis doing it this way. Go to the site on your Mac, Jean-Marc, download the file onto a flash drive, plug the flash drive into your Pi, and open it up. And save it to your Pi. That is the easiest, most efficient way to do it.
And it'll work on Raspbian Noobs?
Yep, I worked on my Raspbian Noob. Now, I will be honest, the Raspbian Noobs I used was a version from last fall. It wasn't the January version.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe there's not an issue with doing it that way. Because I did it with my 8th graders in November. We hacked Minecraft. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jean-Marc. All right, everyone. As always, thank you for being part of Young Engineers today. I hope you have a great evening. And once again, to those in Charlotte, I'll see you tomorrow at our lab. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of the week and a wonderful weekend. And I'll talk to everyone else on Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.